Welcome to Somatic Life Videos. So good to see you. And I am the author of Intelligent Movements for a Healthier Life. And today I just want to talk a little bit about the brain and in Hanna Somatic Education, the work of Thomas Hanna. You can also get his book, Somatics. Is page 16 of my book is a picture of the brain, and this part of the brain that we use up until about age 10, sprouting dendritical growth, learning motor plans, which we now call brain highways. And why do we stop using this part of the brain? Fear and being aware of our peers and what they think of us. As an adult, if you like to walk, you're a walker. If you like to ride bikes, you're a biker. But do you sprout dendritical growth to do other movement patterns that enhance walking, running, sprinting? Not that we need to do those things, but that we want the body to move gracefully and effortlessly as we're aging. So the key is to use the sensory motor cortex, which is all somatic work is doing. The work of the brain goes from the brain to the muscle and back up. When I reach for something, the motor information goes to the muscle and the sensory information goes back up to the brain. This overrides trauma, injury, guarding, limping, spinal kyphosis, lordosis, scoliosis. So overriding all trauma from having surgery, things like that. Trauma is stored in the brain stem, and we are using the higher part of the brain. In somatics, called the reptilian brain is the lower brain, and the mammalian brain is the higher part of the brain that we're using. Exercise does not use this part of the brain. Cerebellum is what you're using in exercise. So anyway, talking about the shoulder today. Those of you out there with any shoulder trauma, old injuries, rotator cuff surgeries, just the inability to reach fully up or behind the head, opening the chest. So this movement is for you. I call it the archer. Unfortunately, it's not in my book. We may have a sequel with other movements coming up. And also you have 45 muscles around the shoulder, coming into the shoulder. 5 rotator cuff muscles come from the shoulder blade into the muscle. Your rotator cuff muscles are actually in your shoulder blade and then attach under the deltoid. So then you have your pectoral muscles, which come into the front of the deltoid. You have your bicep muscle that comes up under the deltoid. You have your tricep muscle coming up under here, your latissimus dorsi, which goes down to your back, coming into the bottom here. And so you see why most of the pain may be here. If my shoulder, if I have a frozen shoulder, these muscles may be locked down. This is your lat, your oblique, and therefore I can't really raise my arm up too well. Or the pectoral muscle being pulled forward, I can't get my hand behind my head, etc., etc. So just working with some of those 45 muscles today. We will not be running the whole gamut, but pretty much probably activating and releasing bicep, tricep, internal, external rotators, pectoral, pec minor, rotator cuff, some of the rotator cuff muscles, and releasing the deltoid and neck. Okay, so lying on your back, arms out in a T shape. Hello. Touch the leaves, they activate the sensory motor system like a child. So palms are up, we're in the present. You're trying to get rid of all distractions, listening to, sensing and feeling. I feel the wind on my face, and just being present. Bringing your legs out straight and sensing the right shoulder blade and left shoulder blade. And notice if one is more weighted or grounded into the earth. start by bending the knees, touching your right shoulder with your left hand, and rolling to your side, reaching towards your right hand with your left hand, reaching past your right hand, and gliding it back over. Here's where it looks like an archery movement, and going back to the left.